Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are presented by the Hula Bowl. Today I have with me Rodney Coates. He's a wide receiver out of West Florida. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Doing all right. Again, coming out of West Florida, you guys were national champions back in 2019, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So great season back then. I mean, obviously, West Florida is to be reckoned with for sure as a competitor there. And to be quite honest with you, like D2 is you guys are better than D2 these days. I mean, you're actually beating some FCS opponents in McNeese State. Kind of started out very strong this season. Putting the W on those guys.
Yes, sir.
But let's talk about you and your history. So give me like a brief summary of you in your career, if you don't mind. Kind of bring us up to speed as to how you got from Alabama to West Florida.
So how I got from Alabama to West Florida. West Florida came out to my spring game my senior year. They stayed in contact throughout that whole recruiting process. When it came down to it, ultimately I made the decision to go with a place that felt like home, and also I seen an opportunity to be a part of something new, to be a pioneer of a program. So I came to University of West Florida 2015. We didn't have a season until 2016. So we played that inaugural season 2016. Went like 5-6. We kept on playing. We made a national championship appearance 2017, the quickest team in NCAA history to do that. So we came back, got some things turned around, and made that first appearance. Unfortunately, we came up short, and we lost that game. 2018, I didn't play, and then we go to 2019. We come back, and we go and we make a national championship appearance again. So we ended up getting to that one. So that resulted in the quickest team in NCAA history to win one as far as like a new program, and set out 2020 due to COVID and stuff like that. That stuff was pretty crazy. And currently, still here playing my senior season. Ranked number 1 in the country right now, 5-0. And we're about to get ready to suit up and play against top 25 team in West Georgia. I think they're ranked number 14 as of right now. So we play them this Saturday, and just looking to finish what we started, finish big, and we got an end goal in mind, and we're just looking to obtain it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people expect you guys to be there, like when it's all said and done. I mean, to be there in the national championship again. So when we look at you as a receiver, we're looking at a guy who's actually a pretty big dude. You're about 6'2", somewhere between 195 and 200 pounds. So pretty decent size for a wide receiver. What do you feel is like the best thing you got going for you as a pro prospect? I mean, what do you feel like is like the best thing you bring to the table?
So many things. I feel like my football IQ. I feel like it's elite. I just feel like I have a great sense and awareness of the game. Also, I'm very energetic. I have a motor. I don't take plays off. Whether it's a run play, I'm sticking my nose in there getting blocks. Whether it's a pass play, you will never be able to tell in my approach to that particular play. And also, I feel like as far as like a leader, I feel like I do stuff the right way, the correct way, and stuff like that. And I also, I bring a lot of positive and good energy to the team and stuff like that. So. Those are just a couple of things I feel like that I myself.
Great. So again, wide receiver, pretty formidable size there. Tell me what kind of a wide receiver you are. I mean, where are you lined up, and do you maybe look at somebody in the NFL, aspire to be somebody like specific? Like, do you have anybody that you kind of model your game after?
I wouldn't necessarily say model my game after, but I do love DeAndre Hopkins. I love the way how he plays the game. He has a dog mentality. I feel like he sees ball, he gets ball, no matter if he's double covered. It don't really matter. He's just a ball hawk. So he goes up and he snatches that thing out the air. And I feel like that's how I play. Growing up, Terrell Owens was like one of my favorite receivers, and I feel like he just plays the game such a dominant way. He imposes his will. Guys, you're gonna have to account for him, and so and I feel like another strong thing is like my catch radius. I feel like if you just give me a chance, you can just put the ball like anywhere, just in my vicinity. I feel like I'm able to come down with it or come up with the ball in any way possible. So, yeah.
Great. So I mean, a guy, big catch radius, very reliable target. Big target out there for your quarterback. You had mentioned also, obviously, everybody, not just you. At the small school level, a lot of guys ended up not playing in 2020 because of the pandemic. So tell me about you in the pandemic year, because I mean, it affects everybody a little different. Maybe like what were you doing during that time? I mean, how did you stay motivated? And was there a part of your game that you feel like you got better at during that time?
During that time, it was easy to be one of those guys to just look at it like, dang, like I don't have football, like all that type of good stuff. But I just took it as like, hey, it's another year, a whole calendar year I can take to get better, like within my game and stuff like that. So I did training stuff. I tried to work on the thing that I felt like I could become better at, and I try to work on the things that I was already good at and become more elite. So I trained real hard, whether it was in the weight room or it was on the field. I also did like a lot of one-on-one sessions with my offensive coordinator and my wide receiver coach. And then outside of that, because I wanted to learn more about defense, I set up like meetings 3 times a week with our defensive coordinator and like try to, dissect defenses and stuff more. I just want to become very knowledgeable and stuff like that. And I mean, like that was pretty much it. I was just like all dialed in on everything. I just wanted to be a better version of me and better version of a wide receiver. I wanted to be like the total package. So that's what I felt like I did to, separate myself and within that quarantine and COVID year.
Sure. You talked a little bit about just kind of, your preparation and really what you were trying to do, like on a regular basis there. Obviously, one of those things is getting in the weight room and getting things done there. What's your approach to the weight room? And maybe if you want to share like your favorite lift.
My approach to the weight room, I love the weight room. I'm from a little small town, Alabama. So like lifting weights and like imposing your will and showing like how strong you are, like that's a top commodity, like where I'm from. So when I go to the weight room, I just see it as another chance to get bigger and better and be able to take that and transfer it onto the field. My favorite lift would have to be hang clean. I would say I like all of them, but hang clean it would have to be my favorite because the amount of weight I do, I don't necessarily work out with most receivers in the receiving room. I usually end up with like the D linemen and the linebackers and stuff like that. So it's good just to get with those guys and compete and be like the smaller structured one, but throwing around weight. I'm a big guy myself, so like that's kind of fun.
Interesting. So a big, strong dude, it seems, is basically what you're getting at. I mean, if you're lifting the weights of like, guys 20 or 50 more pounds than you, obviously, putting up some darn good weight if you're amongst those guys. Take us into the film room a little bit. Maybe give me an example about how like you have studied your opponent over the years, and maybe even like how that has paid off in a game time situation. So kind of think about like maybe a specific example, because I mean, you guys, again, over the past couple of years, you've really gotten the better of your opponents. So maybe think about one instance where you were able to pick apart something and really implement it on the field.
I would have to say with that, just, well, safety alignment and cornerbacks and stuff like that. We just recently had a game against McNeese, and they played a lot of man, and they tried to run we call it too cheap, or basically like the boundary safety of haul butt over towards the field safety of get over top the cloud the field and stuff like that. So you could just notice like tendencies and stuff like that. I knew it was coming because I tried to study like DBs like feet and like where all their pressure and all their weight and stuff at. So I knew my guy, he was locked up man on me, but he wanted to stay over top and bail. So I seen him, he had all his weight on his heels. So that was an indicator for me that he was bailing. And then I looked through him to the boundary safety, and I seen that guy was rolling towards the field. And that particular play, we had a post on into the boundary. So I knew that if my guy was bailing and I couldn't necessarily like get over top of him if he was like running full speed trying to get up out of there, I knew if I just played in his blind spot, got butt side on him and cross face at the last moment, then like that would free me up to be able to go and run and get a post. And so I did, and it was a pretty decent catch. But just like stuff like that, like safety alignment, looking at the boundary corner versus the field corner, like sometimes that boundary corner wants to play around and stuff like that. But if you look over across the field to that field corner, he's playing more of a zone technique and stuff like that, which indicates like, hey, like, okay, this is his pre-snap read, but post-snap, like 9 times out of 10, he's probably going to go into some type of zone and stuff like that. That's just how they play within our conference and stuff. So just stuff like that.
No, I got you. So Rodney, it was brought to my attention that you actually, were a basketball player as well back in your high school years. I mean, you played all 4 years. I mean, a pretty good basketball player. I mean, again, I feel like, that sort of thing can translate to the football field. But for you, how do you feel like that has helped you? I mean, translate to, good, solid wide receiver on the field. I mean, how can you compare that for me just a little bit?
I would just say basketball helped me a lot, especially like with my motor and my endurance. I feel like basketball shape and football shapes are 2 different types of like being in shape. So like in the off season, I'll run, but I'll structure my as far as like me being in shape as far as running and stuff like that. I'll structure it more so around like my basketball workouts and stuff, and so like I'm not as tired as all the other guys. I don't get fatigued as quick, and it also helped me with my hips and stuff as well. Like you're always like shuffling and doing certain stuff, so like I'm able to open up like my hips and get and help out my angles on certain routes, all because like I was able to play basketball. And also my basketball coach was real big on playing above the rim. So my jumping ability is pretty decent, if I do say so myself. So as far as like those jump balls, those fade balls, or those 50-50 balls that you got to go meet in the air, I feel like playing basketball helped me because I'm able to like spring off the ground and be a springy guy. So basketball definitely helped me out.
Nice. You have any idea where your vertical's at these days?
Have
you been tested lately or no?
We haven't tested. We tested probably like 2 weeks ago. We did like the mat test, like the little floor mats. I don't necessarily like those, but I mean it's cool. So I jumped like a 38 on that one. But
that's fair. That's fair. That's not so bad. I mean, again, for a guy your size, 6'2", 38-inch vert. I mean, and who knows? I mean, obviously we got some time still, and you might be able to, better that a little bit. Hopefully maybe get it up to 40, but I mean, even at 38 inches is pretty sweet. So
if I had the other one, like if you give me an object to touch, I feel like I can jump higher, but we'll see when that time comes.
Yeah, when you just have that like little mat thing, I don't know. Some people I think perform better with it than others. But let's take a moment and meet Rodney Coates outside of football player, outside of an athlete. Tell me just a little bit about yourself, maybe what you're doing there as a student, and anything that you want to chat about that's interesting to you, your hobbies, your anything else that you want to chat about. Tell me something about yourself that's interesting.
Well, I start me myself as a student. I already have one degree. I'm right now working on a secondary degree. I'm real passionate about healthcare because, like I said, I'm from rural Alabama, so it's a lot of things that my people back at home don't necessarily get or click for them. So I'm really big into rural health, being able to go back and provide healthcare opportunities for the people around there that's not able to comprehend some of the conversations that they're having with doctors and medical providers and stuff like that. Stuff that I like to do outside of like football, just being me. I have a son. His name is Chase. So as much time as I can spend with that little dude, that's what I do. He's my twin. He acts just like me. Looks just like me, man. So outside of that, like that's what I'm doing. Hanging out with him and stuff. Like I said, also again, I'm from rural Alabama, so I like to do outside stuff. I like to go fishing. I like to go hunting. I like to ride four-wheelers. As of recently, since I've been in Pensacola, I don't have those things around me to do as far as like hunting and fishing. Like I'll pick up me a book or something to read, all that type of good stuff. Getting really big into like trading and stocks and all that type of stuff like that. So I want to become more literate, those type of things. So that's what I find myself doing these days. And also probably just watching football and basketball.
Right. Every time I get a guy on here who is from the South, I'm always curious about like their favorite like meal. So like whenever you think about like I don't know comfort food, what comes to mind for you? Like what's the thing that you crave the most?
Man, the first thing, well, the thing that I crave the most would be like after season. I really watch my diet like while I'm playing, even after like out of season and stuff too. But the first meal probably like my mom, my grandma has for me as soon as I get done playing would probably be a big pot of collard greens, some crackling cornbread, and some pork chops and macaroni and cheese and probably like some candied yams. It's kind of like a thing type of deal, but man, that's the best meal ever. Like that's the best meal.
Trying to make you hungry because I know you haven't eaten yet. So, all right. Hey, as we begin to wrap up, tell me a little bit about your personal goals this season. I mean, I know you're also trying to, win that national title again, but what are you trying to do for yourself, this year for West Florida?
To be honest, as far as like numbers and stuff like that, I just want to do the best that I possibly can. Whatever number like I hit, what I'm saying, like that like that's good. I really aspire to be like first team all conference. I want to be first team all region. I want to be I want to be a complete blocker and stuff as well. So every time we run like sweep plays and all that type of good stuff, I would prefer them to run to my side. Like I want them to be like wherever side Rodney's on, we want to run sweep to that side. I want to be the biggest asset I can be for my team and stuff like that. So whenever my number is called, like I'm there to pick up the phone and stuff like that. So yeah, I really don't have anything like number wise. I just want to be the best athlete, the best asset and stuff I can be, like just for my team and just do my job.
Gotcha. And very final question for you, Bud. I mean, obviously, you might have some scouts that are watching you guys. Watching you specifically. What would you have to say to those guys? I mean, if you had to sit down and give like your, I don't know, 30-second pitch to these guys, I mean, what would you tell them, as to why they need to, take a chance on you, bring you into their franchise, and and all of that. So, give your pitch to all those pro teams out there.
I mean, I feel like those guys, they're out there looking for the best. So, if you're out there looking for the best, then I feel like I'm one of those guys. I'm in that conversation. So I feel like I bring a lot of pros to my position. I feel like I bring a lot of assets to like my leadership and how I carry myself on and off the field. So I'm not one of those guys that you have to worry about as soon as I leave the facility and stuff like that. You're going to get a locked in, a dialed in guy, a guy that's going to show up, you know what I'm saying, and do what he has to do and lay it all down on the line. Like, when you think of me, you won't, like, you'll know that that's a guy that didn't leave no doubt, didn't leave no regrets. Like, he gave you his all when he played the game, and he played the game the right way. And yeah, so I mean, if you so-called like looking for the best and you want to structure your team like with the best, I feel like you shouldn't have to look too far than over here at West Florida. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously some of the best talents at West Florida, you know, if people don't already know, I mean, you guys are on a heck of a win streak right now. So, I mean, definitely got to pay attention to you guys this season, because you're probably going to end up being that national title again. But, you know, also as you, with you as a wide receiver, I mean, like we've already discussed, I mean, a guy whose size and you know, wingspan kind of helps you, you know, be a great target for any quarterback. And, you know, just a very driven, you know, wide receiver, very motivated to be a team player, you know, even if it's you just kind of, you know, being out there as a solid blocker. So, you know, some of those things I feel like add to like almost any team in the NFL. So definitely feel like someone should give you a shot at some point or another. But Rodney, I do wish you best of luck this season. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Again, I have with me Rodney Coates. He's a wide receiver out of West Florida. Definitely check him out.